Hey everybody, welcome to your Pisces horoscopes for the week of August 27th to September 2nd. Us winter babies are happy that the summer is almost over, at least the majority of us are anyway. Some of us aren't, and that's okay. That's okay too. A few more weeks left of summer, and then we move into fall, which is quite nice. Things start to cool down, and if you live somewhere that's really hot, you're really looking forward to that. We continue, of course, to have Neptune and Saturn in your sign, both planets retrograde. And as we get into Wednesday, we have the moon coming into your sign also. And the moon is first going to move into conjunction with Saturn on a full moon day. Actually, that is a full moon day, Wednesday this week, as it moves into conjunction with Saturn and into opposition with the sun. And of course, that's what makes it a full moon. Saturn and the moon focus on the homes. The sun's focus is on career and legacy. Couple of things. Couple of things come out of that. Obviously, we've had this opposition with Saturn for a couple of weeks now in terms of this opposition with Saturn and the moon. The Saturn and the sun. The moon adds an emotional element to this. Your responsibilities at home are keeping you from your career goals. And this is a problem that a lot of people have. This is also a problem that a lot of people create. In case you didn't know, this is a problem that a lot of us create for ourselves. It doesn't necessarily have to be a problem, but we make it a problem in some way, shape, or form. And I feel like on one hand, you want to be careful that you're not using the people at home as an excuse not to better yourself and your career, if that makes sense. Or it could be a very tough decision. They're looking at, they want to present you with a can't think of the word, a promotion, which is going to take you away from your home. It's going to take you away from your responsibilities at home. You have to find out if somebody can take over some of those responsibilities, help you out with the house cleaning, help you out with your kids if you have kids, take care of your dog, all of these different things. There's always a lot of things to take into consideration. The big lesson here is to make sure you're not making up things that don't need to be there, if that makes sense. Because a lot of times we human beings actually do that to try and talk ourselves out of moving into what could be in a really exciting prospect, but a very scary one at the same time because it's new, right? We humans are weird like that. As we move into Thursday, the moon starts to move into starts to move into conjunction with Neptune, which means that the moon is also going to enter into Neptune's oppositions with the sun, with Mercury, and with Mars. First of all, Pisces is known to be semi-emotional in the first place. To add this emotional influence doesn't help that situation, obviously. Having both planets in opposition with so many other planets is just not going to help that situation even more. The moon's focus is still on the home. Neptune's focus is on those you love. You put those two things together. Most of us can very easily put those two things together. The sun, Mercury, and Mars are focused on career and those that support you. Mars really bringing those that support you influence into this. And this can go one of two different ways. Either you're looking for support and not finding it, and that is causing some anger to come up with the moon influencing it. Definitely likely for that to happen. But also, it's about reminding yourself to get the right support for what you want. That's really important. So if you're looking at your career goals, you want somebody who is an aggressive support system for you, meaning they're going to put a lot of energy into what you want. They're going to put a lot of energy into your goals specifically. And that is something that you want, even though it may be a bit scary to deal with a personality like that. But I'm a firm believer in, if you are not an aggressive personality, but you need an aggressive personality, you got to find one that can come in to help you, because it's not realistic to just become an aggressive person overnight. Most of us don't do that. We either are or we aren't. So I tend to look at that as, I knew a young lady once a long time ago who had an autistic child, and I raised an autistic child. So when she started having problems with this child at school, and she was not an aggressive person, my aggressive energy came in, and I said, you need to do this, and you need to do this, and you need to do this. And if you need help, let me know, and I will come down and rattle some cages for you if need be, because as much as you don't necessarily want to do that, sometimes you have to do that. So if you can't be that person for yourself, that's okay. I'm sure you know somebody who is, that can help you out, or somebody that may know somebody who is, that can help you out. Now, the good news through all of this is that we continue to have a grand sextile with Neptune, Pluto, and Uranus, and the moon just slides right in there and sort of helps to influence that a little bit. With Neptune's focus on those you love, Uranus's focus on relationships, Pluto's focus on the mind. You know, it's really funny actually that this, and I literally talked about it all the way up until now, but the truth of the matter is that I have spent a lot of time with people. I have 3 children, ages 21 to almost 30. So I've been doing this for a while. There are times when I look around and it's just a perfect life. There are times when it's a chaotic mess and the kids were screaming and I looked at it as hell, literally. It really does depend on your mindset, on your mood at the time, in terms of how you're looking at the situation. So that chaotic mess that just made me cry because I couldn't take it anymore was also really funny at times too, depending on the mood that I was in. So Pluto's really kind of sort of coming in to make sure that you are aware of where your mind is at, because where your mind and your mood are, that's technically how you're going to take certain things when, as and when they come up, if that makes sense. Also, with Uranus's influence, Uranus goes retrograde like literally the day before on Wednesday. Uranus goes retrograde. And this is an interesting influence there in relationships, because you're sort of looking for a mixture of relationships that don't necessarily follow the old rules or any rules at all, versus those that are a little bit more stable and they do follow the rules, because it takes both sides to really make sure that you are putting the energy into what you want to put it into with the right people, if that makes sense. So those of us that are kind of free-spirited, we do have our place in the world. Even though sometimes it's a little bit, it can make things a little bit difficult and challenging, if that makes sense. That's what I have for you guys this week. If you love your horoscopes, do click the link in the description and send me a copy, because you know I would love it. If you're listening rather than viewing, it is ko-fi.com/heavy metal psychic. Also, do go and check out heavymetalpsychic.com website. You know, you can book a reading right there on the website. It's ridiculously super easy. I have an amazing website lady. She made it as easy as she possibly could for you guys. So go check that out as well. I'm Melissa Bruce, the Heavy Metal Psychic. I will see you guys next week. And you guys, I know you're going to make it I know you're going to make it a great week. At least that's what I expect. See you guys next week.